Thanks, Obama, for this inhaler and these blood test results and that flu shot. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, I'm getting better healthcare than ever, and so are millions of Americans. But what would happen if the ACA went away? Well, it turns out that would be hazardous to everyone's health, particularly LGBTs. You're probably already familiar with some of the things the ACA does, like protecting people with pre-existing conditions, keeping young people on their parents' healthcare plans, but the ACA also does some things of particular importance to the LGBT community. That's because queer people are less likely than straight people to be insured, and also less likely to be insured through their spouse. And even when queer people are insured, insurance companies are more likely to discriminate against them. So to fix all that, the ACA set up a system with the Office of Civil Rights to make sure LGBTs get equal access to coverage. And sure enough, in just the first year since the ACA was enacted, the number of uninsured LGBTs decreased by 24%. That's thanks in part to eye-catching ads like this one that reminded gays to get enrolled. Now, you may be wondering what these underwear hunks have to do with healthcare. Probably not very much, but you are suddenly paying very close attention, right? So now LGBTs are more likely to have health coverage and less likely to be denied. And that's a big deal, because there are a lot of health issues that disproportionately affect queer people. Of course, HIV is the big one, and the ACA provides for free HIV tests as a preventative measure. But it also supports healthcare like smoking cessation, which queer people are more likely to need, and screening for depression, which is of heightened concern for LGBTs. HIV, hepatitis, eating disorders, even breast cancer is more prevalent among certain queer populations. And the ACA helps people deal with all those things, so you don't have to declare bankruptcy just because you got sick. If the ACA is repealed, as Republicans are trying to do, not only would 32 million people lose health care, according to the Congressional Budget Office, but LGBTs would be disproportionately affected. And disproportionately affected is a phrase which here means get sick and die. For example, HIV treatment can cost thousands of dollars per month, and insurance companies that don't want to pay for that treatment could just refuse to cover all gay people on the basis that gay men are more likely to be HIV positive. Or they could raise monthly premiums just for gays. Or they could create a lifetime cap so you pay into their system, and then as soon as you need expensive treatment, they drop you. All this was legal until the ACA banned it. There are companies that cannot wait to go back to the bad old days. For example, a religious hospital network called the Franciscan Alliance is already trying to obtain exemptions to ACA rules that protect queer people. And the state of Texas is suing the federal government on the Franciscan Alliance's behalf. They're named for St. Francis, by the way, who took a vow of poverty and cared for marginalized lepers, so I'm sure he'd be very proud of the work that's being done in his name today. But in thinking about the repeal of the ACA, St. Francis might have some useful lessons. He was compassionate to everyone, which is why he's often depicted as a Disney princess talking to birds. A single sunbeam is enough to drive away many shadows is a teaching often attributed to him, meaning a little bit of good can go a long way. So there's never been a more important time for calling your representatives, organizing, marching, speaking out about why the ACA matters. It may seem unlikely that one person can change the world, but as the Franciscan Alliance's namesake once said, start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. I'm at Matt Baum on Twitter, and check out my videos about other Obama policies that Donald could undo, and also tips for talking to people about why this stuff matters. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a meeting with some friends of St. Francis.